Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're now tuned into Naughty or Nice. Let's go. Me don't want no fake love, me only want the real deal. Me don't want no fake love, me only want the real deal. Me don't want no fake love, me only want the real deal. Shelly Line, want no fake love, and V-Love Bird. Have you ever met a sister with her shit together? Maintaining, never complaining, trying to make shit better. She's got a real good life with the right frame of mind. She's the real deal, baby, and she know how to grind. On the job or in the bedroom, baby, the truth. And with her by your side, homeboy, you can't lose. Just slip on the dress and go to work like a pro. Then bring that ass home and drop it down to the floor. Educated, sophisticated, conversation so deep. She's a lady in that world, but a freak in the sheets. Educated, sophisticated, conversation so deep. She's the lady in that world, but a freak in the sheets. Shelly Line and V-Love Bird. Shelly Line and V-Love Bird. Shelly Line and V-Love Bird. Yeah. Shelly Line and V-Love Bird. Shelly Line and V-Love Bird. Shelly Line and V-Love.
Hey,
everybody. How y'all
Facebook.
doing today?
We're gonna start this live on time. We're gonna end it on time tonight.
Yes, ma'am. Hey, kiddo.
Hey, kiddo. Hey, I don't know who that is.
Mubashir.
Yeah, we not even gonna try to get that together, honey. That ain't even gonna come out right. That's just gonna be wrong. So
Hey,
we're gonna
Mahana.
jump right into this topic and try to get it going. Y'all, we done told you the rules yesterday. No calling names, no, we don't want to get shut down on tonight's show. If you put a comment up that we can't read, we just gonna skip it. You can talk about how you feel, but you can't be all trying to get all crazy with it on this live, okay?
But do voice
So
your opinion.
do voice your opinion. That's what the platform is for. So we just
Hey, Mike.
Hey,
All right,
Mike.
let's dive on into this topic, y'all. Okay. I can't remember the exact wording, but it's basically talking about the current events as to what happened yesterday. What is your take on that, and how do you feel about how it was handled? I'll start personally. We saw how it was handled when the Black Lives Matter protesters are out there protesting peacefully. Had they been the Black Lives Matter crew trying to storm the Capitol, we would have been reading about a lot of dead bodies today.
Correct.
And that's just a fact. So, hi, Pookie. So, of course it's biased. You know what I'm saying? There is no way in the hell that anybody, black or a black group, could have went in there and stormed that place like they did, tear it up, go into, people's offices and just disregard everything. And not only that, they were invited in. They didn't just pop up. They were invited in,
Right.
and they were encouraged to do that. And then you see them taking pictures, police officers or law enforcement taking selfies with these people. I mean, go figure, nobody's asking for different treatment, but give them the same treatment that you showed us, to have that same energy with them that you had with the Black Lives Matters protesters. Hey, Roscoe, love you too.
So I'm going to be like the devil advocate in this because I see it differently. So what I don't get, and this is why I don't get into this politics stuff. What I don't get is how people didn't see it coming. I don't think we as people, we're gonna compare it to Black Lives Matter because that's what we have to compare it to, along with a list of other things that take place. But when has there, if you look in a history of time, let's just go into time, when has there ever been anything that was for Black people, or when crimes go on, when people are being killed, when people are being beaten, it's never been a situation where anybody came in to intervene. So what would make anybody on this podcast think this would have been handled differently? We live in a world where white is always going to trump Black, period. We live in a time where we need to pay attention to the things and the signs that are going around us. We just can't pay attention when things are crazy. When things are calm and sitting still, we still need to be paying attention. Everybody's riled up now because the way it went down, it was ugly, yes. But did you expect the outcome to be different? Did you expect the troops to come in there storming and start beating up white people? Did you expect that to happen? I think if you think logically, no, you didn't. So now we're comparing it. We're saying, oh, when black people was out here in the Black Lives, we was out here fighting and killing. Yes, they were, but there was a different skin color involved. You got Trump leading them, who sat back same way during Black Lives Matter. What made anybody think that would have ended any differently?
He didn't sit back during Black Lives Matter. He sat in the brigades for Black Lives Matter.
But he didn't do nothing. Yeah, to get them, to hurt them. What made you think? If you have a president who don't care for your color, don't care for immigrants, don't care, all he is white power, the people taking over this, that, and the third. What made anybody feel like his outcome was going to be any different?
It wasn't going to be any different. And it was always just a matter of when it was going to happen. It wasn't why or how did this happen. It was just a matter of when. And, during his whole presidency, he's been doing all this messed up shit, you know what I'm saying, and been getting a slap on the wrist and just doing whatever he wanted to do when he wanted to do it. Had that been anybody else, I was speaking specifically about Obama, it would have never went down that way. The impeachment would have went through, all this other stuff, you know what I'm saying? So when you have a person like that's running the country, and then you have all these people that have the same beliefs as him in law enforcement, what do you expect?
But that's what I'm trying to say. What did you thought? They could have burned that Capitol down yesterday, and it would have made no difference because Trump, and I don't think he's done. I don't think it's going to end here because you still have those same angry protesters who think there was no justice done. This is like the cap of the beginning. So either we're going to keep standing here saying, oh, what's going to happen, or what kind of initiative do you take? See what I'm saying? You can't sit here being a side when saying, I don't like what's happening. You ain't out here doing nothing.
But it's so much ignorance, you know what I'm saying? And then you have to look at the people, the majority, not the majority, but a lot of the ones that support him, where they come from.
Exactly.
Then they was running around with a damn Confederate flag in the Capitol building, which has never happened before in history.
Like, there was people masturbating, there was people peeing on chairs, there was people gyrating poles. There was a lot of stuff that took place.
But I was about to say, even with that, they were arresting people for nothing at the Black Lives Matter protest. Now they're saying all these people are going to be arrested. Well, you had ample opportunity to arrest them yesterday. And you let them
weren't doing that, though. They weren't there to do that. They was taking
They're not trying to do it.
Yeah,
let me read some comments.
Yeah.
Ronnie said it was a mess that was bound to happen. Right, I agree with that. Monte said they was only chanting, "I can't breathe," and got hit with rubber bullets, maced, all types of stuff. It's crazy. Hey, Rose said all that was unacceptable. They showed their true colors. They've been showing them, Rose. They've been showing them. And not only that, they're getting bolder and bolder by the day. But they need to realize that they living in a different time, and they're not gonna get what they think they're gonna get. It's not gonna be as sweet and as smooth as they think it is, because somebody's gonna knock their damn block off, and that's just a fact.
It probably will happen eventually when it gets heated.
It's gonna happen. It's already happening.
It's destined to go down. It's something that's building up. It's just a lot of energy. It's a lot of hate going on here. I don't believe in two wrongs make a right, but you can't stop certain things from taking place. It says things have to go accordingly. Things have to happen. So therefore, we just living in times where shit has to happen. Period.
Sign of the times. We're living in the end of days, in Revelations, as the Bible speaks of. But Monte said, not always. It's going to be a shift in power. Hey, Tweet. She said, right, just a matter of time. Pookie said, God said in 2 Peter 3:13, these things are coming to fruition. Trump, Biden, nobody matters but God above and his son. The last days are here. We could talk all day, but until God kicks in, it will be worse before it gets better.
It gets better. Yeah. Thank you. You just got to see what it is.
Rose said, you're right, Shelly. They better watch him. Hey, Brian. He said, yeah, that's what I say, Brian. You got to stay woke. People walking around like in La La Land. You better pay attention to your surroundings and what's going on. Because, when you hit me up, whenever I'm talking to my daughters on the phone, what do I tell them on every phone call? Watch your surroundings. Be aware of what's going on around
you. You have to.
All the time.
People walking with their eyes closed. You don't have to be out here fighting and protesting, but you best to be on guard as to what's going on around you, what you seeing and what you're probably not paying attention to. You out here running in la la land like you ain't got no brain when the whole world is turning literally in fast pace around you.
Yeah. And it's not gonna stop. You know what I'm saying? That's just like you have them walking down the streets and shit with AR-15s and shit like that, and it's okay. But as soon as they see a black man with something in their hand, he's dead. And may not even have nothing, getting shot in the back or whatever the case may be. And you know, they just thinking that they can do what they want to do when they get ready, and it's just not that simple. Pookie said, but one thing for sure, God created two beautiful, intelligent ladies to host the show. Thank you, Pookie.
Thank you.
Hey, Kenya. Kenya said double standard. I was thinking that the Capitol Hill should have been protected from that type of behavior. Definitely, it was supposed to have been. It was very disturbing and disrespectful to the American people. With Trump, anything is possible. But BLM, the military, was on high alert. But yesterday, they was told to stand down. Exactly, Kenya. That's my whole point right there. That's exactly what I mean right there. You know, people.
But once again, Trump was still in power. He's still the president.
Yeah,
y'all.
exactly.
So if he's telling them to stand down,
they were invited.
He's leading the whole thing from the beginning. He's telling them to stand down. This is nothing that should amaze anybody. Y'all know who y'all president is. You see what I'm saying? Y'all still know who he is. He still has the power. And now he may be a little shooken up. He may be a little scared right now because they're trying to get him out. They're trying to do stuff fast. They shut off his accounts, his Twitters, his Facebook. A lot of stuff is taking place behind the scene because this was a disaster. Like, this was ugly. So it opened everybody's eyes. Like, whoa, this dude he's really crazy. Like, there's really something wrong with him.
I'm gonna say this, and it is what it is. When Trump first started out, he told everybody exactly who the hell he was. And he stayed true to what he said. People chose to ignore what he was saying and think, no, he did this and he did all this good. Well, that's just a matter of opinion. But he told you who he was. He showed you the disrespect from the gate. Mm-hmm. He showed you he didn't give a damn. He showed you he was a racist. He showed all of these things. So now people trying to act like, oh, what happened? You know what the hell happened? He told you what he was going to do, and he said who he was.
And he showed you exactly what he
and
said.
It was up to you. And it was up to you to decide whether or not to believe him. He's always been a racist. Always. Mm-hmm. So This is nothing new for him. You know what I'm saying? And the only thing he was worried about is lining his pockets and trying to get out of debt. Is what he was trying to do with all the money he owes everybody, or whatever the case may be.
Whatever just happened, get your voice out.
Take shit at face value. It is
you heard
what
me?
It is. He didn't sugarcoat it. He said, "This is who I am. Deal with it."
But this is what I'm gonna be the whole term, and he has been chaotic and crazy the entire time he's been in the White House. Ain't nothing new about Trump and his movement, honey. Trump has spoken. Trump has said what he was going to do, and the surprising thing about everything is y'all people act like y'all is like something different on a different day. If you watching his movement, it's been like that from day one. He's consistently the same from day one. Trump has not missed a beat. The only thing you can do to Trump right now is commend him for being a fool. He said he was. He started out that way, and now we mad because of this. He ain't finished. He got a couple more. He got 2 more weeks to be done.
Oh, his ass gonna be on. They're trying to make Mike Pence, acting president right now for these last 13, 14 days or whatever it is. Thank you, Rose. No problem, Pookie. Brian said facts. James said, hey, James. He said, take one of those AirPods. I don't have no AirPods in. A phone call knocked out my call. Thank you. Knocked out my volume.
Yeah, you
I love my people too, but people need to stay woke for real. Brian Clark, keep our focus relevant. Hey, Jeffrey. Kenya said, remember he said they're going to march down Pennsylvania Avenue. He sure did, Kenya. And guess what they did? They didn't march. They stormed that shit yesterday.
Don't sleep on Trump, y'all. Trump is sitting somewhere. That little brain is ticking because Trump feels like he was cheated. You talking about 7 million votes cast that came through. He said it was someone,
and all of that was lies.
He clearly, he's clearly not playing with a full brain. That's for sure. But at the end of the day, he got to so long. He's got away with it so long that it's normal. And now the thing that has shaken people up is because now this took place. So now you want to look a little close and say, okay, he's really crazy. But he was crazy all along.
His niece told you that in the book.
Yeah,
and
no.
that he's a narcissist. He is a narcissist, Brian. I mean, that's evident.
Right.
Pookie said, all this will continue to the 19th and still will continue because don't forget Trump's father, the devil, still exists. You better believe it. Jeffrey said, yes, he did. And you know, like I keep saying, he encouraged this. And he had said earlier on, they're going to march down, like Kenya said, march down Pennsylvania Avenue. They did that. This was not a surprise. Like I said, it was a matter of when. And even in his little speech, he was like, y'all just, you know, go home, say, but they cheated you, they cheated me, they cheated us. But in other words, y'all keep doing what y'all doing. And I'm going to just say this just for propaganda, but he meant for them people to be out there doing what they was doing. And people got killed. And like somebody said earlier, he should be charged with murder because that's what happened. This pandemic done killed all these people. The girl got killed in the place where he done told them to go protest or whatever, trying to overturn the Biden-Harris win. I mean, just craziness, just chaos. This is crazy. Jeffrey said his dad was the same way. He learned it somewhere, Jeffrey.
Yeah, he was cut from a different cloth.
Look, Brian, that's an understatement. Hey, Junie. Junie said, with the background in law enforcement, there's a double standard. There's always a double standard, Junie. Hey, Nita. Nita said, hey, you guys, it was messed up up here the other day because she lives up that way. Nita does.
Right.
Right. James said the kids need to be aware. Brian said, out of order. James said, yeah, always be aware of the surroundings at all times. Hey, Jermaine, he said he brought to light what white privilege is. Exactly. And that's exactly what it was. It don't matter where you come from, a trailer park or a mansion or whatever. If you white, you have white privilege. I'm telling you.
It really doesn't. It's sad, but it really doesn't.
Brian said people don't even know what that means. Kenya said he got what he wanted. He made history. Yeah, he made it. And he didn't care how he made it.
He didn't care how he did it.
Good, I mean, bad, or ugly.
People, when you're listening to the news and you're hearing them, they're talking about like, this is the worst day in history. This is the worst kind of behavior. This is the worst. But like I said, you cannot, all this time we have swept it, since Trump been president, we have swept everything Trump has done under the rug. It's just a matter of
not we, they.
That's what I'm saying. People, like, they've swept it under the rug. Now it's like, oh my God, look what happened. Like Biden said on his speech earlier, this was destined to happen. This happened and it was awful. But this is what took place.
Who child? Nita said they need to put him out, Giuliani and Trump Jr. They all invited that mess yesterday. They did.
Mm-hmm.
And then one of the top ones in the Republican Senate, he was like, no, he wasn't willing for them to stand down and nothing. He was like, let it be, because they know what's about to come. So they're trying to fight that. And then all the ones that was on his bandwagon sitting here somewhere looking stupid now. James said, I hope that he gets impeached so that he can't run for president again. That's exactly what I said to somebody earlier, Jimmy. That's exactly what I said. Nita said, not one of the Capitol Police has died. No, she said one of the Capitol Police have died now.
Yeah, it was ugly. It was ugly. I mean, it was an ugly little scene going on out there. I mean, people was hiding. You had people under their own desks. All the people in the Senate was taken to the basement. They had to hide. I mean, people was afraid. I'm sure everybody in there was afraid when they saw them. I mean, they was banging in the video. Like, you heard them banging on the door, like literally banging.
But the windows and everything.
I mean, that was bad enough. And you have all your security guards out there and they ain't really guarding you. So it wasn't.
Like Kenya said, again, if it was a Black Lives Matter, they wouldn't have been able to get past the gate. Okay.
Well, the velvet ropes wasn't contaminated. They said the velvet ropes, they stayed in the perimeters of that. And then the guy said, Jimmy Kimmel said, why not wrap the ropes all the way around the building? And maybe that would have kept them all the way out, but they didn't mess with the ropes, y'all.
My girl, I'm about sick of all these people. But Jermaine said he and everyone involved need to be arrested and charged under the terrorist act. I agree, Jermaine.
Yeah, at some
Um,
point, somebody got to say, okay, enough is enough. Like, this is it.
Pookie said, if someone gives someone a pill or dope and they overdose, now you will be held responsible for the death. So he should be accessory to murder or inciting a riot. I agree with that too, Johnny. I do. He should be. Um, Kiddo said the people who died were fanatical. The whole thing was probably to finish draining the swamp.
Right. You know,
Hmm.
we in a different time, a different space. You know, the thing that the only thing I can tell people, kind of like what Rose said, you got to be on guard. You got to pay attention to the things that's going on around you. I mean, you think of how this stuff goes down, and you're not even coming off the Capitol. You got COVID that took place. It locked us in a different state. We wasn't ready. You know, that was one disaster. People losing their jobs, people dying. How many people died last year? It's been event after event.
Shit, in a day, not last year, in a day, daily.
Event after event after event, and this stuff is coming in order. It's coming in order. It's coming in the order it's supposed to. It's not done. It's not going to get better. It's going to get worse. You just got to be prepared for the worst and what's coming.
Yeah, true that. Bruce, be quiet. He told y'all two look scared. Bruce will save y'all. Imagine that. Nita said, pray for the DMV and our country. Both my cousins have been called out over there today to continue to guard. My son-in-law has to work the inauguration, and my daughter and I are praying for them. We will, Nita.
We surely will.
Junie said, working in the suburbs, I have to deal with white privilege every day. They think they are above the law. They do. Period. Brian said, I was trying to tell you. Kenya said it was planned once he lost the election. His recount kept getting rejected from the court, so he had to fire back. But his cabinet's all resigning, but they upheld his behavior. So why bail now? They need to be arrested too.
Yeah, they bail because they realize, oh my God. Now they sit back and they go, oh my God, he really crazy. I want to be attached to that now. But you done saying for this long.
Yeah. Jimmy said, let's see how good that facial recognition system works. Right.
Yeah.
Hi, Anthony. He said they should have shot them. I mean,
what it was going to do?
Nothing. Well, what did it do?
I mean, really, what it was going to do?
Same thing it did to the black community when they did nothing.
But people out of everything.
People protesting.
People going to be killing one another. That's what's going to happen. Yeah. Innocent people going to be dying for nothing.
I mean, you don't mix violence with violence. You know what I'm saying? There's other ways around things, but they should have handled it way better. But there's a bias and there's a double standard in whole America, period. When it comes to brown skin and white skin.
It's always going to be that way. It's been that way since time.
Yeah.
You know, it's been that way.
For sure.
And it's not everybody. Not everybody is, not everybody is for all this nonsense, white or black.
Right.
Some people just don't want to get involved in it. They just be like, I don't want to be no parts of that negative energy, none of this negative stuff, because it's just going to be more negative. Don't keep breeding it.
No, but wait, did you see the one black dude in the mix of all this stuff?
Yeah, standing there looking crazy. Yes.
Okay. Oh my God, I could not. Pookie said, better read God's owner's manual. That Bible is outlined. It is outlined in the Bible.
A definite chapter.
That's what she keeps saying, Pookie. That's true. What she say? I must have missed a comment. Let me see.
You become alarmed until you feel like you have to be. If this stuff is scaring you now, then you obviously don't read your Bible at all. I'm just going to compare it because there's things that have happened in order. So it's just like the Bible saying it's at a certain time, kids are going to be having babies. You're going to see babies having babies, mama starving their kids, parents beating their kids, things coming to pass. And it's coming and it's coming. The world disaster, this, that, and third. Then they're going to cry peace and security and then all hell break loose. How many times do people got to keep saying the same thing, dance to the same tune? Stuff break out. What people start doing? They start stealing. They start raping these kids. They start breaking in people's house. Black people be breaking in their own black people's house when they get ugly. I mean, you think about it. This is what we have come to. And
It's
this is
been like
what it
that.
is.
It's just more
This is what it is.
people just don't care anymore. They don't care one way or the other. But it's been like that, you
So
know.
don't be surprised, y'all. I don't think anybody on this podcast is like, oh my God, this wasn't going to happen. Oh, yeah, it was. It
What's
was.
gonna
It was.
happen?
Let's see what's going to happen next, though.
Pookie said, no shooting either way, two wrongs definitely don't make a right. That's true, Pookie. Nita said, well, they did shoot that 14-year-old Air Force vet, that 14-year Air Force vet. She was an avid Trump supporter. Even her mother-in-law was like, they didn't understand her behavior lately. Like she was just a diehard Trump. It's almost like he got a spell over these people. Like
They get
for real,
riled
for
up.
real.
It's just like with anybody else. You get riled up. You get riled up.
Mhm.
Like you could have a pastor leading a church and leading them straight to hell. You could have a
Mhm.
pastor telling the people to go jump on, eat people. They do it because they believe, they mind. You want something to hold on to, so you hold on to what feels right to you. That's what his supporters
Listen,
did.
everybody, common sense is not contagious. So if he tell you go jump off a whole damn mountain, yo, jump off the mountain, and we got some boats down at the bottom. We're gonna get them once we get to the bottom. You're gonna follow the fool and jump behind him.
But you think about
But
it.
that's what I'm saying. You know, that's how he got people following him like that, and that's just crazy to me. It's almost like when that what was his name, Jim Jones, that cult leader.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, it's like that.
You think about 9/11, people that the people that come from other countries that are born and raised to do certain things, and they don't care what they gotta die for,
Yeah.
how they gonna die, they gotta blow up their own self in the process. They feel in their mind that I've served my part, I've played my role. Don't think them Trump people don't feel the same way. They're sitting there going, well, we did this or we did that or we show. That's all they sitting there thinking. And I'm gonna lay dormant for a little while, but we gonna pop this back off again.
Well, at the end of the day, they go out there with that stuff and getting the wrong person face, it's gonna be a wrap.
It might be a wrap.
Yeah, you see how that boy kept calling the black guy nigga, 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 and he smacked him with that twisted tea can. I ain't never seen nobody get smacked like that. But that's what I'm saying. People are tired of that. You're not just, this is not back in the day or in slavery where you could just do and say and do whatever you wanted to a person. And these Karens is really getting the business by these sisters.
Yeah, and
the
people
sisters
just
is not playing no games with these Karens. Okay, you see them smacking the shit out of them before they can even get out the and nigga. They not playing with them. You know,
and they turn a blind eye.
Yeah. Jermaine said, let's not allow Donald Trump to overshadow the fact that America is very racist. The flip side of this is that he's done something so foolish and dramatic that even some of his own now feel ashamed. True. Shame is one of the elements of emotions that provokes change, which is what we need in this country to bring about more support from white America, KKK, he's saying, in our quest for equality. I agree with that, Jermaine.
Totally well said. Totally well said.
You're right. He just made it to where now instead of them hiding behind they're hiding it. Instead of them hiding it, they blatant with it. They don't give a shit anymore. It's like, this is who I am. I don't like black people. I'm a racist. I'm this and that. And they letting it know. Just the other day here, they had to rally around a dealership up here because a man went to the Zaxby's and called up there and threatened to shoot a 15-year-old black girl because she came up to his car to take his order.
Right.
And said, if he seen her outside, he would shoot her. And the mama raised hell and people in the community raised hell. And guess what? His ass got fired. And they tried to take that over there across town where all the black folks at. Then guess what happened? They ass left from over there as quick as they got there because they're not playing them games with them. And he should have been fired. And she should press charges if she didn't already. You don't go threaten a 15-year-old girl. Had that baby just shook all the way up. You don't do that. Jimmy said his ass will be the first one charged. Yep.
Yeah, that part.
Brian said, yes, the Bible. Let's go, baby. Y'all want to talk? Let's go. Yeah. Pookie said no more. Hold on. Pookie said, wait a minute, y'all. I lost my place. He said no more wars, but God's Armageddon it is coming. Yeah,
baby, that's you said a mouthful. Yeah, you said a mouthful. It's coming and it's coming, and you can't do nothing to stop it. What the Bible says, don't be caught off guard. Don't be caught sleeping. Pay attention. Like Brian say all the time, pay attention to the signs. You may be sitting off here acting like you
One at
all
a time.
and all into the stuff that's going on. You don't really have to look at it. You can feel it. You can feel it. You can feel
Just
some
look at the pandemic
yeah.
alone.
You
You
can
go back
feel
to the
the
Bible
movement that's
when they
going
had
on
the
around.
plague that swept through the nation and killed all those people. It's the same thing. It's history repeats itself over and over again. Nita said Ashley Babbitt had a rap sheet for malicious wound, and she had 2 restraint orders against her and some other stuff. You're right, Shelley. The Bible is fulfilling. These are the birthing pains that devil Trump has brought it out all out. Ken
It had to
said
take somebody to lead. It had to take somebody to lead you to Armageddon, and maybe it was him. And I don't think he's done. I think he's just getting started. He might have a whole little underground organization going on that you don't know about. But like I said, Trump has not showed his colors. Been showing his colors all along.
right.
We just not paying attention to him now. Now we looking and going, oh my God, and I think that's really what has people all the way they are. It's being talked about now. It's on the news now. CNN is running it every 5 minutes. BBC News is running it. Everybody running what took place, but everybody saw it coming and said nothing.
Yep. That's exactly what's happened. I knocked everything down, y'all. My bad.
So don't be surprised, y'all. We live in the last days. Some things just have to take place. They have to. They have no choice. It's the way it has to go. Just brace yourself for it. And be alert, paying attention. Just make sure you ain't caught off guard when it happens. Make sure you're in the right place, in the right position in your life, doing whatever it is you're supposed to be doing before it comes or before whatever's going to happen happens.
Let me see. Kay said she was troubled. Jimmy said completely off. Brian said it's gonna be real.
But
Facts.
you like sinking further and further down in the there you go.
Oh, that's because I got to see my phone, Gary.
Oh, okay.
Pookie said, I do appreciate the things you all point out, but outside this white privilege, let's speak on Black people shooting up and killing their own neighborhoods.
Cool. Say it again.
People do what they see being done. If I am white and Blacks eliminating each other as a white, what should I do? You said a mouthful. We are our own worst enemy. If truth be told,
Black people kill Black people every day.
Every day.
Fight each other every day over stupidness. This nigga, that nigga, this
every race, every ethnic group does that. But you can't keep hollering and screaming about what somebody else is doing when you're part of the problem. When you're going out here and you shooting up in crowds because you see somebody for maybe a gang initiation or whatever the case may be, and you shooting up people and you shooting innocent people. But that's just stupid to me. It just don't make sense. Like, why, if you want one person, why would you go out here shooting up in a crowd? You hitting children, you hitting elderly, anybody. A bullet don't have no eyes. If you're just shooting in the crowd, you can hit anybody. You're not guaranteed to hit the person that you're shooting at. Why not wait and confront that person? Why? I mean, when I was growing up, people fought shit out. You fight about it, you talk the next day, and everything is all good again. But now people don't want to fight. Their pride is they got too much pride to take an ass whooping and go on about their day. They want to come back and retaliate, shoot somebody, do all this type of stuff. So Pookie, yeah, you're right. It is a lot of that in the Black community. And people's doing all this protesting, but still out here robbing and killing their own brothers and sisters. Like, you know what I'm saying? When I say that, I mean, their own race. So to me, that's the pot calling the kettle black. I'm just saying that's just what it is to me. Hey, Kurt. Nita said the Proud Boys are the new KKK under a new name. Agreed, Nita. He said, like a thief in the night. Yep, that's what they say. I don't know where she went, y'all, but she'll be back. Jimmy said, I guess they really thought we were going to be enslaved again. I think that was their mindset. And they really was talking to people like that. If you go back and you see some of these videos where, they're getting, outrageous and outlandish and talking to people like they're crazy, like we were back in that day, like they could just come up and talk to people like that. And then when they get their block knocked off, then they the victim. And you can't do that. Let's see. Nita said the devil is a lie, James Davis. I know that's right, Nita. Brian said that's what matters, Shelly Live, Shell. We have to be careful, Brian. You better, like I say, you always got to be aware of your surroundings. But I was talking about what Pookie was saying when he was saying that about, we killing each other in our own Black communities. I said people have too much pride these days. When I was growing up, you fight, you win or you lose, and everything was cool. You see each other, you keep moving. But now people's pride have so much pride that they can't take an ass whoop, and they want to come back and retaliate if they lose because they look like a punk, they look weak, it ain't all about that. If you feel like that, keep your ass out the way. And don't get into things. And you don't have to look for things all the time. Sometimes trouble can just come to you. But you have to know when to avoid it and pick your poison, is all I'm saying. Jermaine said, white America, Bible is the Constitution, and the 25th Amendment clearly states that a Black is 3/5 human, which is taught from their generations ongoing. They're proud of their history and look at it as a status of accomplishment of conquering the land. They were taught that they're the superior beings over all others, especially 3/5 of human Black ones. That part of the 25th Amendment is one of the biggest changes that can be made to prevent further spreading of the falsehood teachings. Yep.
Very well said. Very well
Y'all
said.
need to go look up this lady, Jane Elliott. She's a historian, and when it comes to Black history, she's a beast. She's an old white lady. And this lady got mad because she told her, why do you not like Black people? You're just a faded Black person. As you got further and further away from the equator, the color started changing because Black people were the first people on the planet. Where do you think you came from? Period.
But you can't tell somebody who's white and racist that Black people was here first. They're not trying to hear that.
Whether they want to hear it or not,
yeah,
fact is a fact.
Been there from day one,
Right.
and we live in a world, unfortunately, is even when you go get a job, your kid can go to school, be the most educated kid in the world. You can have the same person that went to the same school, did the same thing. You sit down in front of the job person. Who do you think they're looking at first over you?
Mm-hmm.
How many times we go and have to prove ourselves over and over again?
This like put yourself there, and you go in there with the same person that has the same level of education as you or whatever, and may have a little bit more education than you. But if she's a dark-skinned Black woman and you sitting there, guess who they're gonna pick 9 times out of 10? You.
Well, but see, those are the things we deal with in like corporate America. We deal with it every day.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
People, unfortunately, call a spade a spade. When a Black person get a lot of power put behind them, what do? They act ignorant. They act stupid. They do dumb stuff. I mean, they don't think. They just be like, oh, like I'm in power now, and they start crapping. I don't want to say the word shitty, but crapping on the people that are underneath them because now they're looking down. They're looking down at you because you're no longer of the level of life that they are. They're not going to speak about this stuff. Look how many celebrities are in places that they can do a whole bunch of stuff, move a whole lot of stuff. But what did they do? They rap about it in a song about shooting, gang banging. Let's kill this person. Let's knock this person off the block. And we bop into it every day. So you gotta play your part. If you're gonna play it, don't come to me talking about it. That's why I don't bring up this kind of stuff. Don't come to me talking about this stuff if you ain't really about that life. If you out here acting like a whole fool, and then every time you're around somebody, you want to act like you're not that fool. That I don't have time for them kind of conversation. That's why I don't entertain these kind of conversations. Give me 1 minute. I gotta come off this part.
You gotta do what? Oh. Well, to say what she was saying, there are a lot of Black people in power that actually do things. And a lot of them do things that we don't even know that they're doing. So you can't say that every Black person in power is not doing this and not doing that. But you tend to see that they, there are a lot of humanitarians that do a lot of things like in other countries or whatever for, like poorer countries that need things more that we actually have access to. So I'm kind of on the fence in between of what she said, because everybody that's empowered as Black is not, doesn't mean that they're not doing their part, but you can't do it by yourself. You need help doing these things, is what I'm saying. You missed
No,
what
I
I
agree with
said.
you, Vonda. I agree with that
Okay.
totally. Like that's I'm not saying everybody, but you have people, you have black men that will see these black boys out here
Mhm.
just running free. What
Right.
example are you setting for them?
Mhm.
What are you giving them to say, oh, this is what I need to be, or this is what I need? You could teach your kid everything you want. Your kid could see you as a whole thug. You see what I'm saying? You could sit here, I can sit here and be the greatest mom, but if my action doesn't reflect that I'm this great mom, what am I to that kid? See what I'm saying? This
Mhm.
is the same thing we do this is what we do every day. We
Mhm.
sugarcoat shit and make it fit to the description. Oh, I'm about the Lord. You got people in the house, in the house of the Lord, saying they holier than thou, and they get out that church and they somebody else. You got people that don't go to church that act the same way. You got black people that act like upstanding citizens, and behind closed door, they're a whole nother entity. These are the
They
things
say preach.
you gotta talk about this stuff. You can't say I'm gonna pick this piece because this piece fit today and oh that piece fit tomorrow. No, you can't do that.
But you can't be out here selling dreams either. I say that when you say about, the entertainment industry and all this, because, a lot of people, there's musicians, rappers, actors, actresses, they on the screen, they making all these records, but a lot of them broke. But they out here got these young kids listening to them like they got it going on, and they living this life that they only dreaming about their damn self. So what I'm saying is don't sell these kids dreams, and then they go out here thinking that because they don't have role models like the guys in our generation had. You
None.
know what I'm saying? They
Role
don't have
models
anybody
are
to look up to. So you have to be careful of your words and careful of what you put out there. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying when I say
how
that.
many
But
black men on this podcast alone are a reflection of anything? And I'm not saying y'all ain't, but how many of you actually do? You see these kids in the mall, they thugged out. How many of you say, get it together? How many of you mentor them? How many of you say, look how many households, there's single mothers raising these boys, trying to make them men, trying to keep them out the street, trying to make sure their lives is right. And how many of you men look and be like, oh, she just got a lot of goddamn kids, or oh, she ain't doing her part, or oh, it's a lot of shade thrown in this in your own
that's
black
true.
community that you're sitting here fighting for, baby. It's a lot of shade thrown by us.
That's true. I gotta agree with that. Jermaine said blacks go to jail for killing blacks. We just want to see whites go to jail for killing us. That's a good point, Jermaine.
Yeah. Yep.
Because when they kill us, it's a slap on the wrist, or they making excuses
So
and
why
giving them
have
excuses as to why it's valid that they took somebody's life. Like when you got the little young boy that was just walking home with a drink and the police held him and they gave him that injection and he died. He wasn't bothering nobody. He was just walking home. And a slap on the wrist. And they justifying all this shit because of privilege. That's it. It's nothing more, nothing less. And I think about too on the flip side, how all these cops get away with killing black people. So what if it was the other way around and the black cops was killing all these white folks randomly?
it would
I
go a
don't
whole
think it
other
would
way?
play out the same.
Yeah.
It wouldn't play out the
It's a
same
whole
way.
other thing. And we know that. That's what I'm saying. The
Yeah.
things we already know. We know that to be fact. So why do we keep feeding into that? We know that no one's going to step up to the plate for black people. We know these white cops ain't coming out here to save these black boys. We know that. So what do you do differently to make that stop happening? That's what you got to ask yourself. You don't go out here and be violent with them and be just as ignorant with them. And then when you
You
do go
can't.
out there and be ignorant, what people start doing? What do we start doing? We go ahead, start robbing stores, start looting, burning down stuff that probably belongs to a black family. That's the kind of stuff I can't breaking in people's houses. That is not what we do to make things better as people. That don't make no sense.
That's true. But you look at the news, but I kind of follow stuff. So when they was doing all this looting, they actually sent out groups to do this and make it look like it was us. And then black folks always want to follow suit. When you could just kept your ass at home, mind your business and laid low. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't use certain types of protests as an excuse to go out here and tear up shit and loot and do this and do that or whatever. But when black people was doing it, it's a problem. But when they was burning crosses in black people's yards, burning up churches with kids and people in them, that was okay.
None of it's okay. It's not
No,
okay.
it's not okay. No, I'm not saying. I'm just saying it was okay. It wasn't a big deal. But as soon as you black and you go out and you bust a window or you do something, it's the most terrible thing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's what I'm saying. The bias and the double standards come in at. We'll never be treated fairly. That's a fact. We
We'll be
never been
fighting
treated
to the end
fairly.
of time.
Never.
The same thing. We will be
Right.
fighting forever. This is
Right.
a non-winning battle.
Yeah. So anyway, let me get back to some of these comments. Pookie said, and with the race card in reference to white privilege, why do we give them what they want? For instance, if the KKK is having a meeting in town, how productive is that rally if we as Black people don't go? Wait a minute.
Go
Hold
and
on.
rally around them. Just rattle around them, y'all. Just gather around them.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Hold on,
Just
y'all.
gather with
Lost
them.
my place because somebody went. Let me see. Okay. How productive is that rally if we as Black people don't show up and giving them the platform to antagonize you and provoke you? Don't show up and don't argue ever, even walk out. Well, if you show up and then they allowed to have weapons, if you got a weapon, it's like shoot on sight. But they can walk around, dap up the police and do all this other stuff. They're not going to get treated like you're going to get treated if you got a weapon. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And we
Totally.
saw that firsthand from the one that they had back in the summer up in a little town not far from here. They walk around with assault rifles, all this kind of stuff. Black people over there ain't got nothing. They over there dapping up the police. They hanging out, hee hee ha ha. And then the Black guy want to argue with him, and they want to lock him up. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't going to nobody's Klan rally. I don't give a damn how many Black people there. I ain't going.
I mean, even growing up as a kid, how many times have like, I know for me, I went to Dunwoody. So growing up for me in a school where people hated my skin color completely. Like I was always talked about, oh, you this, or you think you that, or you want to be that. What do you do when you can't do nothing? You just be like, you know what it is, what it is. The color of my skin is the color of my skin. I can make it no darker, no lighter. Like the Black girls throwing shade at you because you're too damn light skinned. So you have your own kind coming for you. Then you have a whole nother nationality coming for you. You at some point you just got to say this is enough. We sit on this podcast. There's some people on this podcast got black and white mamas and daddies. Mm-hmm. How do you go to one side when your house is already divided? You gonna tell your mama I don't like your skin color because you white? I mean,
I'm glad you said that. Break makes me think of something. So what if you're a whole white family? Let's just say that. And your views are divided in the house. These people raised you, but your views are different because you're not in the era they were in, because you have a lot of kids that grow up in these racist ass homes, but the kids are not racist at all. And they be trying to check their parents, but their parents only know what they've been taught. You understand what I'm saying?
And so, hate is taught.
Right. It's taught. You know, kids don't know prejudice. Kids don't know that. Kids barely know their skin color or what they're supposed to be. They're taught that. You know what I'm saying? So if you got a family like what's that crazy white lady that Trump's little minion, Kellyanne Conway, I think is her name, and her daughter kept recording her, and she cussed her daughter out because she was like, well, why are you this? Because she didn't like, the daughter was like a teenager, she didn't like Trump. And so she was trying to shut her off, took her phone and all this kind of stuff. So that's when you have the same race and it's divided. So you can't bottle everybody up and say just because they're white, they're racist. Because we got racist people within, like you said, within our own race.
And in your own race, honey.
Prime example, when we were in Mexico, the girl had a thing with you because you were light skinned.
I was light skinned, and it happened. And it happened right there, sitting down. She kept saying, "Well, you light skinned, you light skinned," and I can ignore it. Vonda's temper's a little bit different from mine. Vonda was like, "Okay, we're not going to keep doing this," but people come for whatever they're going to come for a reason. It's always somebody throwing something. Somebody's always going to think they're better. Us as Black people, we always think we better than everybody. I mean, at the end of the day, you drive a Benz, you better. You drive a truck, you poor. You see, we put ourselves in all these brackets, and then we look down on each other. And then when somebody's then we come back and be like, "Oh, I'm Black, I'm pro-Black, and I want to fight because my lives matter." No, miss me with that. That's what I'm saying. Miss me with all that mess.
Pookie said, in the Bible, Cush was the Black origin. Cain's son, the Cushite people, were dark. Okay. Jimmy said, Jane asked the group how many of them wanted to change places with a Black person. Silence fell over the room. Exactly. And did you see the one when I think it was an old Oprah show, and she was on there, and no, or it was Minister Farrakhan, and he was adding a Black lady. He was like, "Well, you're just so angry." He said, "I'm not angry. I'm just talking to you." He said, "Because I could speak to you and articulate to you exactly what I mean. I'm intimidating you because you don't know. She said, well, what's going to happen if y'all come and then we're the minority? He said, well, then you will feel like we feel. We've always been the minority. So what's the difference? Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's really how people like that think. You know what I'm saying? They're afraid of what will happen if we are the majority and not the minority anymore, because they already fading out. Let's see. Brian said, wow, with great, blah, I can't talk, y'all. With great power comes great responsibility. That's the absolute truth, Brian. Mm-hmm. She is. I love Jane Elliott, Jermaine. Hey, Peanut. Brian said, with great power comes, okay, I saw that. Be good. Amen. Let's be 1,000. Let's see. Monte said, him, me. Right. Monte is a good role model.
And I can like that's what I'm saying. What are the ones that are doing like and Monte? He can say that because he is one of these ones out here in these communities trying to get folks together, trying to make a difference, trying to make a change. But if you ain't out here helping the cause, don't be coming talking about, oh, let's talk about this going on in the world and I'm standing for something and all for none and we fall for no.
Bad.
You ain't doing nothing but running your damn mouth.
Mm-hmm. Sound like you getting agitated, girl.
I know, that's what I'm talking about. Like, I really do. I just be like, it's too much. And even the same people that sit around me all day, every day, they always got something to say about everything. It's always what they feel and do. And they're the same people walking the same walk, doing the same crap that other people are doing. So that's why, like I said, I don't get in these conversations because they get heated, they get ugly. I be like, I don't want to talk about voting. I don't want to talk about no president. I want none of that because I know how this conversation goes.
You hear me say,
my brother's a Trump supporter. You know, he cusses every day about this. Like we will argue to odds end. So when they come to my house, you can't talk about no politics when you cross my door because we're not going to fight up in here over no stupidness. And he believes Trump is great. You can't change. His house is divided. Why? Because his wife don't support him. And here you got the division. But you got this one over here who's like, it's all Trump and y'all don't know. And he's leading the country and y'all stupid and you just watch. He's still saying that now. So you can't, some.
Was he the black dude at the Capitol yesterday?
I'm just kidding. I don't know. He's my brother, but he's.
I'm just kidding.
He's different in a whole lot of stuff. That's certain things you don't talk about: religion and politics.
Well, that's what I was about to say. You hear me say all the time, I don't get into politics and religion with people because it goes to the left so fast because people's views are different. And then, since all of this, even if you look on social media, when people have different views, they falling out and blocking friends behind them, saying whatever they're saying about Trump or whatever. We can agree to disagree. You don't have to like what I say. You don't have to agree with what I say, but you're going to respect me.
It's like when Obama became president. If you was black and you didn't vote for him, you was wrong. Why? Because you got your own opinion. That's not how you do this. It's not because he's the first black man and I'm not saying, we all as people went out here and voted, but I'm saying it shouldn't have been that caused a lot of people to get up and vote. Oh, we got a black man. He about to be in the building. Let's go out and vote for him now. You see what I'm saying? You cannot make people alter what you feel. You might have wanted to vote for the other person running, but you felt like it's my duty as a black person to vote for a black man.
I vote for the person that I feel like is going to do the best
job. Who you voting for? I don't talk about that. Why does it matter? Because the minute I say what you're not thinking, guess what we doing?
It's a problem. You're arguing.
But my thing
is, it should be about who's going to do the best job. And like I told you yesterday, it shouldn't even be an issue of all this craziness. The whole issue should be for the simple fact what's right and what's wrong. Period.
What's going to lead us out of hell?
That's like right from wrong. We all know right from wrong. Like, and this shit that they're doing is just beyond me. It's amazing. I just can't believe that he done got by with all the shit that he had. I mean, I can believe it, but it's still hard to believe. You know what I'm saying? Brian said the generations change for sure. I do that. Jimmy said you can try that. You might have to fight the parent. Yeah. Monte said I don't judge. I help. All kids are mine. Right. It don't matter where they come from, what color they are either. Jimmy said if we'd unite, God will set us on top at once. I think so. Hey Tiara, how you doing? Kenya said every fight ain't ours. Sometimes we need to fall back and watch. Yeah, I agree with you, Kenya, because that thing they did yesterday, that was their fight. That was not our. And when I say our, the black folks fight. That was the white folks
No,
fight.
there was people, honey, want to go out there and tear up the Capitol. It was like, oh, Trump gonna win. We're gonna tear this sucker down. That's all they was doing.
Y'all don't change
On the
this
walls.
vote. Look, I can hear them. If y'all don't change this vote, our Trump.
They
I can
was
hear them
banging
now.
baby on the doors. It was crazy. I was watching. I was
Girl,
like,
the way they was kicking their feet up on the desk and rummaging, I was like, these white folks is crazy.
opposites and stuff. But that's what I'm saying. But look how easy they got in there. You got security.
Because they were invited.
Like,
They
in,
were meant
exactly.
to be let in.
They didn't.
I've been to the Pentagon. I've been to the Capitol. Them places is not easy to walk up in. I'm trying to tell you.
They let some folks through. And it was some of them security guards letting them right on through.
Yeah. The cops was letting them in. They slid the thing up.
Everybody that was moving in cahoots with each other in the movement.
Jimmy said we need to plan and strategize. Yes. Pookie said, girl, you are beautiful yellow.
Hey,
Jeffrey said because they all in the same gang. That's all. And you absolutely right, Jeffrey. Orlando said that's funny because Kellyanne is a Republican and her husband is a Democrat. That's what I'm saying. That's why they were so divided, Orlando. And they were supposed to be getting a divorce, and the little girl just didn't give no shits about what they had going on.
But a lot of kids don't agree with what parents agree.
Yeah.
So we live in a world, you got little young black boys, like, that don't want to date no black girl because they think all little black girls are messy, and then you got little black girls that don't want to date these little black boys because they think they're all thuggish. So it's what we, you're the proof start with you.
True that. Jeffrey said they're not white, they're pink. Hey, Ronald. Orlando said Google Todd Bridges on Little House on the Prairie. James said on the microism scale, we are minority, but on the microism scale, black people are the majority. That's what I said earlier, Jimmy. Ken said, calm down, Shelly, but you're on point. Yeah, child. We done got her blood pressure up. She done got her.
I don't like doing these kind of shows, girl. Because I know when I look at stuff, I watch stuff and I see stuff, I be like, people be talking. And I look at people and I be like, you ain't doing nothing but you just running your damn mouth on all the things you
do. Many different levels. Yeah. That's the word I've been looking for all night, and it was so simple. You're right, Ron. It was an inside job. You're exactly right. Mm-hmm. Trump opened the door. Trump opened the door. He told me that. He said, stand down. Let these white folks run rampant. Jermaine said, for so long we've been told that our vote don't count, but now with the proof and results, I feel it has provoked a change in us. Voting has been made cool, so trust me, we're going to follow. I think so too. I think this was one of the most important elections of all time, this one that we just had. And people who wouldn't normally vote, they got their butts out there to the polls, they voted. Georgia stood up and came out, and that's why, we won the Senate too. So I'm happy about that because, listen, this place going to hell in a handbasket. You hear me?
You think that weekend
one man.
The weekend I came to see you in North Carolina, and I was driving up, and we passed through that, and all the people was in the water, honey. They was surrounding the cars. Look, Nay was like, okay, we just drove in the Trump rally, and they was everywhere. I mean, it was. What was that?
Y'all pulled over or something?
No, we was going through, but honey, they was surrounding the car. they was in the water out there on the bridge. They was having some kind of rally or something was going on. But we rolled right slap in the middle of it coming to see you that day. I was like, oh my God.
That was in South Carolina. That's Trump country.
Yeah, so let's just get through this little section right here.
Mm-hmm. Ken said inside job yesterday, right? Monte said they aren't mad because Trump lost. They're mad because it's going to be a shift in power, right? And they're not going to be able to do the shit that they've been getting by with. That's what the real problem is, Monte. You're right about that. Ronald said, you guys in Georgia showed out. Ken said, whatever happened to we the people? We never counted. So they thought. We never counted, so they thought, but they got fooled, Kenya. All the red states turned blue again. So Jermaine said we were taught to hate our own via the Willie Lynch theory. Yeah.
Yeah.
People said, I vote that y'all two get paid or produced by someone about to call Tyler Perry on YouTube. You are both so ready. Thank you, Pookie. Speak that thing into existence, baby.
Girl, speak it.
Monte said, go watch White Man's Burden starring Harry Belafonte and John Travolta. I'm gonna have to watch that. Y'all heard that White Man's Burden?
Was good, yeah.
It's on Netflix, Monte, ain't it? I think I saw it on Netflix. Oh, Orlando just sent me a link. I think it's on YouTube. But anyway, y'all, this has been a great show. Jimmy said we still need to hold Biden's feet to the fire and not let him forget who put him there. They've done that for decades. That's politics, baby. They've been doing that forever and a day. But anyway, y'all, go ahead, Chef.
Don't sit here and sleep on this stuff, y'all. This is like a little fire that's burning, and it's just burning. Open your eyes and pay attention to what's going on.
Because, you know, like you said, it's really going to get worse before it gets better because these people are mad. Like Monte just said, or somebody just said, they're mad at the shift in power because, you know, they've been able to run rampant, do what they want to do. Now they got a black woman that's the VP. It ain't going down like they think it's going to go down.
And even Biden needs to be careful because they don't like him.
Yeah.
People don't like him. They keep
he made a threat against him.
Yeah.
Well, you saw when he put a threat on him right before the election actually was over. You know what I'm saying? And they just swept that under the rug. You know, you got to be careful out here because people are vicious. I'm telling you. And these racists are on some different type shit. You hear me? So you got to say, listen, I'm gonna tell you like this: if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. That's all I'm saying. I'm gonna leave that alone. Hey, Renee. She said the hatred runs deep, real deep. It does.
It does.
Because, you know, probably like 10, 15 minutes from me, they be having the Confederate rallies down there. And I was like, what? Like, no, I can't. Right, Jermaine. Well, anyway, y'all, we have come upon our hour, and we are so glad that you guys tuned in and gave us y'all feedback. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and please, y'all, go over to our YouTube channel. And also, if you have any topics that you would like to discuss, no topic is off limits. Feel free to hit either one of our inboxes, and we will gladly put it up and talk about it. Jimmy said, but you have to remember that Trump stacked the Supreme Court and they went against him. Yes, I forgot to bring that up. That was one of my things I was going to bring up, Jimmy, but I forgot. You are absolutely right. Have a good evening too, Brian. Okay, y'all, with that being said, we love you guys. Thank you guys again for watching. Thank you, Jermaine. He's a great show. Y'all don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and follow us on Instagram, Naughty Nice 22. And we love y'all. And good night. Hit it, Shelly. Love it what?
And be love bird. Love it, love, baby. And loving what we do.
Oh, yeah. Y'all got to go check out our TikToks.
And look at TikTok. Follow us on follow us, our shenanigans all over, whatever platforms we're on. Follow them.
Yeah. Y'all, she had me hooked just for the weekend for a couple of days. I was like, oh, it was so much fun.
And look, me and Vaughn will be on the big screen this year. So look out for us coming in 2021, baby.
Yes.
Anyway, y'all have a good one. Have a good one. Good night.
Good night, y'all.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're now tuned into Naughty or Nice. Let's go.
Me don't want no fake love, me only want the real deal. Me don't want no fake love, me only want the real deal. Me don't want no fake love, me only want the real deal. Me don't want no fake love, me only want the real deal.
Have you ever met a sister with her shit together? Maintaining, never complaining, trying to make shit better. She's got a real good life with the right frame of mind. She's the real deal, baby, and she know how to grind. On the job or in the bedroom, baby, the truth. And with her by your side, homeboy, you can't lose. Just slip on the dress and go to work like a pro. Then bring that ass home and drop it down to the floor. Educated, sophisticated, conversation so deep. She's a lady in that world, but a freak in the sheets. Educated, sophisticated, conversation so deep. She's the lady in that world, but a freak in the sheets.
Shelly Light and Vila Bird.
Shelly Light and Vila Bird.
Shelly Light and Vila Bird. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
Shelly Light and Vila Bird.
Shelly Light and Vila Bird.
Shelly Light and Vila.
What'd you get?
Can you wait?
Good night.
Good night.
What'd you get?